living life semi-pseudo. Ain't no living life semi-pseudo. We going out tonight, who am I? You know, ain't no bedtime. You grown, spending them dimes, so darn.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining the De'Ara Show today. And of course, I'm your host, De'Ara. We have a guest coming up. She's a children's book illustrator, Ayanna Davis. Hello, Ayanna. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. So, Ayanna, how many children's books have you actually written?
Well, I've written 2, but I've illustrated 14.
Wow. Can you tell us a little bit about this?
Sure. The 2 that I'll tell you about, well, the 3 that I'll tell you about. The first one was called 12 Months with Ayanna's Kids. That was the first book that I wrote and illustrated. It came out because I actually did a calendar too, so it was like a set with the calendar. The next one I'd like to tell you about is called My Melanin. The author is Renita Pagan. It is available on Amazon. And it's about teaching young girls to embrace the color of their skin and to know that they're beautiful in every shade.
So why was it important for you to write a book about teaching young girls to embrace the color of their skin? Why did that matter to you to give back in that way?
It mattered to me to illustrate that book because I feel like everybody deserves to have positive representation of somebody that looks like them, somebody that they can relate to. So I just felt like it was owed to our young girls to see that there are beautiful people that look like you, that you're going to look like when you grow up.
Great. So tell us more about some of the other books you've written and illustrated.
Okay, the last one I'll tell you about is it's my latest, which will be out very soon. I'm not gonna release the title yet, but it's about my journey with autism, and I'm doing this because people feel that you can't really flourish if you have autism in life. So it's really just about not letting your challenges stop you from fulfilling your dreams and showing the amazing things that you can still do despite your challenges.
So Ayanna, for some of us who aren't quite clear what autism is, because we've read so many misconceptions or we just have our own idea in our head, can you please explain to us what autism means to you?
Well, to me, it means being different but special. It means I communicate differently. My main source of communication is art. It means I understand differently. It means I process differently. I feel differently. It's just like a different, like my mind is not wired like everybody else's. So you may say something to me and I don't understand what you're saying, and I might need you to explain it to me in a different way. So it's just a different way of processing information, emotions, and social situations and things of that nature.
Can you give us some examples of some misconceptions of autism? Because it's not something that can always be seen.
Yeah.
And how do you go about it? Do you always have to explain, okay, maybe I would need you to explain something differently? And I know in the most recent years, I feel like more light has been shed on autism and people who have it, and that is different for each individual.
Yes,
so can you just
exactly.
Explain
Yes.
a little more about that?
Okay, so it is a spectrum. If you meet somebody with autism, please remember that you met one person with autism and you're not going to meet anybody else like them. They'll be similar, but they're not like them because everybody is different. A lot of misconceptions, the one that I've dealt with the most was that Black girls don't get autism, and that like people are always like, well, you don't look autistic. And I'm like, well, what am I supposed to look like? So there are a lot of misconceptions. And I really appreciate people, though, who ask me and they're like, well, is this a way that you can understand? And I really appreciate the people who have the time and take the time to explain things to me if I need, like, you know, it explains just a little differently so I can understand.
Sure. So, what are some appropriate ways to approach a person with autism without being offensive?
Um, to just speak to me like, you know, I'm a person, and don't say, well, I heard this. You know, just ask questions and like get to know the person. Just have like a normal conversation. Don't make it awkward by saying, well, I heard this, and something weird about autism is this. Like, don't do anything like that. Just try to have like a regular conversation with the person and treat them like a person.
And in your books that you illustrated and have written, do you give examples of what interactions look like with people with autism?
In the latest book, yes, I do. It just shows like some of the different situations that um, I've been put in, and how I reacted to it, and how I overcame it. So, yeah, I do talk about that.
Awesome. So, what would you like people to mostly know that they're going to get from your book? And what ages did you write your book for?
Um, well, a lot of adults, a lot of adults want it, even though it is a children's book. The target age is 6 to 12. I would just like for them to know that, you know, even if somebody does have a disability, they're still a person. They still have dreams. They still can accomplish those dreams and chase those dreams. So it's just about like not letting people limit you and put limits on you because of your challenges and your disabilities. So that's like the biggest thing that I feel like I would like people to know.
Speaking of challenges, did you feel many challenges to even write these books, to even come up with the ideas? Did you feel like you needed a lot of people's input, or did you already know in your mind, like, okay, this is what you're going to do? These are the ideas that you have, and you have to execute them no matter what.
Yeah, I like art is my biggest form of communication. So I like to do things my way, and like I like to have creative control. It's like if I'm working with somebody else, sometimes you don't get creative control. You have to do what they say. But you know, the last book is my book, so I can do whatever I want. Um, and it's just like being able to express myself through art, it just makes it easier for me. Like drawing a picture is easier for me than having a conversation with somebody. So I'm just thankful that like I have that tool of communication.
Awesome. But do you have information about where we can find your different children's books that you've illustrated?
Well, the one that's coming out is not out yet, but
Okay.
if you follow me on social media, everything will be posted there. The latest book that I'm promoting, My Melanin by Renita Pagan, is available now on Amazon. Like my early book, my first book that I did, that's not like in circulation anymore.
Oh, wow. Okay. So, how did you first get started into knowing that you wanted this to be your profession?
Um, I didn't know. I didn't know I wanted it to be my profession because the first job that I had was as a dance teacher, and I worked with a drama company um with kids in theater, like, you know, putting on productions and doing plays. So I was kind of like neglecting my art, even though that is also art. But for a long time I wasn't doing it. And even when quarantine started, I was just getting back into it because you know, I had a hard time when quarantine started because my schedule was thrown off. So like I got back to my art as a form of therapy, and you know, I do art therapy almost every day.
I love that. The fact that you do art therapy. And I know you mentioned that you also include meditation
Yeah,
into your
every
schedule.
morning I have to. Like I get up and I take my meds, and I do my meditation. I usually try to meditate between 15 minutes and a half hour, but if I can't do it that long, that's okay, as long as you get some in. And I like to write in my gratitude journal because you know, like when you're thankful for something, you get more of it. So I definitely try to meditate every morning and write in my gratitude journal. Sometimes if like I'm a little overwhelmed at night, I'll try to meditate again at night.
Okay, so can you walk us through a day in the life of Ayanna? So, what was the difference between quarantine and then before quarantine when you had your regular routine?
Before quarantine, I was on a plane every month. I was not like I've never been in New York this long. Like
Wait a
since
minute. Wait, you were on a plane every month doing what? Going where? Tell me
um
about your vacation. I need to live through
Well,
you.
it was mostly for work, like because I did children's fashion shows because I did I'm also a children's designer. So I did a lot of fashion shows. Most of them were in Atlanta. So I was living between New York and Atlanta. Hopefully, you know, I can go I miss my freaking friends. But I was doing fashion shows. A lot of the shows were also in New York. So then we would have like meetups with like the models and the model mommies and have photo shoots and fittings. And so most of my days were spent making clothes and doing my customs, designing my graphic tees. That's really what I did all day to prepare for the fashion shows. So like I haven't really been doing it. I do some things because my models still have activities, but I'm not doing the fashion as much. I'm focusing more on like my illustration and you know, getting my message out about autism. So yeah, day in the life is just like full of art.
I love that. So it seems like once COVID-19 began and quarantine life started happening, the fashion shows and all the in-person meetings just instantly stopped for you.
Yeah.
Now, how hard was that?
That was really it was really hard because you know, as a person with autism, we thrive on routine. So my routine stopped and it was just like, okay, what do I do now? I had like a really hard time. I got depressed and it was just like I just didn't know how to function because my routine was thrown off. So the beginning of quarantine was like a nightmare. But and because they were like, okay, you guys quarantine for 2 weeks and then go back to normal life. And now I'm just like, okay, look at us a year later, still trying to see what normalcy is gonna be.
Right. So when COVID-19 first hit, some of us, interacted with each other saying, okay, this will last for 2 weeks and then we're going to go back to normal. But normalcy never happened. It never went back to normal. And
And
I
we
don't
don't know
know.
if it will.
Yeah. So how long did it take for you to adjust once you realized after those 2 weeks, like, wait a minute, this is going to be a total life changer? How long
Um
did it take for you to adjust?
it after the 2 weeks, I was like, okay, the 2 weeks is over. Oh, I want to go to see my friends, and I miss my nieces and nephews, and you know, because I'm the auntie that spoils everybody. So like, I'm like, I miss my nieces and nephews. Why can't I go see my nieces and nephews? So it was just like everything like changed, and but at the same time, um, you know, I was really doing a lot, and I needed to be slowed down. So it slowing me down also helped me too because it got me back into my meditation, back into my gratitude journal. I was doing it, but it was just like, all right, let me do this and get this out the way. Well, now I do it and I'm mindful of it, and I'm mindful of the things that I'm speaking into my life. So you know, it got me back into that, and I'm grateful for that.
Would you please be so kind to share at least two things that you are grateful for, just to spread the message of gratitude?
I'm grateful that I woke up this morning, and I'm grateful that my friends and family are safe and healthy, and I'm grateful for my new nephew.
Congratulations on your new nephew.
He's 2 weeks old yesterday.
Oh my gosh, have you gotten a chance to see him?
Yes, he loves me.
So will you be babysitting?
I'm just gonna steal him.
So I like the fact that you help children and you're such a positive role model for children and your books and your fashion shows. I just need to know more about you. Up next, coming up, we have more with Ayanna Davis after the breaks. Thank you all. See you soon.
listen, you're my friend.
I noticed you haven't really been yourself recently.
Yeah, I feel like something's up.
How are you?
Are you okay?
Is there anything you want to talk about?
I just want to know how you're feeling.
And listen, even if you don't know what to say, I'm here to talk.
No matter what you're going through,
I just want you to know I'm here.
I've got your back. When you want to talk, I'm here.
Kids!
I don't want to talk about it.
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 Families don't have to talk about everything, but they should talk about how to plan for an emergency.
Kids, you all right?
This family's prepared. Get tips and resources to make your family's emergency plan. Go to nyc.gov/readyny or call 311 for more information.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the De'Ara Show. We're at our second half of the interview with Ayanna Davis, children's book illustrator. Now, Ayanna, I'm sure there are more parents out there with children with autism than what we know. So can you please walk us through what it was like, your experience growing up and how it was for your parents? When did they first learn you had autism?
They didn't learn like for a long time, but like they never said it, but I'm sure it was just like, oh my gosh, she's so hard-headed, she don't listen. Because like people would actually say, like, I spent a lot of time with my grandmother, and people would actually say like what's wrong with her, because people would say hello to me and I wouldn't say hi back. I would just look at them or just walk away from them, and I would just go sit in the corner and draw for hours, because that's how I knew how to express myself. It was easier for me to do that than to speak verbally. So like I know it was a challenge for them. They wouldn't say that. Like my mama passed, but my dad's still here and he helps me with like everything. He's sitting right there. You know, he told me, he was like, you were always doing something. So like I know it was challenging for them, but you know, they got through it. We all got through it. We just didn't like understand like a lot of the symptoms and the treatment for it. So I definitely give my hats off to all the autism moms and dads, because you know, they have so much love for their child, and the love for their child doesn't change because they were born different.
Ayanna, I love the fact that you have a great support system around you and that your dad is here for you. And I know you mentioned that people, we used to ask, well, what is the matter with her? And I just want to mention that I think that something is the matter with people who ever questions what's the matter with a child. That's so inappropriate. And I think that a lot of adults were so ignorant, and they almost seem like children in a way that we have to educate them and how to behave and what to say and what not to say. And that's not really up to us. They're supposed to be helping us, whether you are part of the family, whether you're just an adult or a teacher at school. So how did that make you feel? Like going back to that moment that you just told me about when no one knew what was the matter. You didn't even know, you weren't sure. How did that make you feel as a little girl?
Well, I always knew that I was different. Still to this day, though, I know I'm autistic, but I don't think there's anything wrong with me. I just know that I'm different. Like it just, I didn't really understand, like when they used to be like, well, what's wrong with her? And I was just like, okay, am I misbehaving, or like, what do you mean what's wrong with her? So then that's like when I just went into my shell and I went in the corner and I drew some pictures. Sometimes I would actually draw pictures of like the people who said that. But it just made me feel like more different. So I feel like if you have a question about somebody's child, it's really not your place to ask. If the parent wants to share, then the parent will share. If they don't, then just try to respect them. And if you don't understand the child, and some people with autism have tics, like people with Tourette's. If they have tics or if they're having a meltdown, just give them their privacy and give them their space, because like they look at children with autism and adults who have meltdowns as having tantrums, and they're not tantrums. They're just like an overwhelming reaction to overstimulation. So I just feel like if the parent wants to share, the parent will share. If they don't, you have to respect them.
RESPECT. Find out what it means to me. Everybody deserves respect. Okay. And autism looks different for each individual.
Yes.
And Ayanna Davis is thriving. She's a professional. She's a beautiful woman. Okay. So Ayanna, tell me how important it is to have that support system when you are facing this chaotic world, because this world is both beautiful, but it has its ugly parts. So the support system, I believe, is like really important, right?
Yes, it is very important. I may not always be able to text my friends and say exactly what's wrong, but they know me, so they'll ask me what's wrong, and I'll do my best to try to express it to them. They know that sometimes I just need my space, and that I'm not going to answer your text message. It's nothing personal. It's just that I need my space, and I need to clear my mind. But they also know that sometimes I might need like a little bit of extra support, so I might be texting them a lot. But the ones who are close to me, they understand, and they really do give me the support that I need. And I harass my dad all day. Like he don't have a choice.
You know what? It would be great if your dad can hopefully come on the show. Yeah, he could be sitting next to you like right now on the couch.
You want to come over here? Oh, he's over there with his phone.
Is he camera
out.
shy?
He's actually not camera shy. He used to have a radio show, and
Oh, really?
he's a public speaker. He's into politics. He had an organization. I've been going to protests, like Black Lives Matter protests, before it was Black Lives Matter, since I was like 6 years old. So he's not shy at all. He speaks his mind. He will tell you his opinion. He's not shy at all.
Wow. And I love that you came from him, and I can see his influence all over you.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. So please tell us again where we can find more information about your latest books.
You can find information about anything from me on my Instagram mostly. That's where I'm most active, Phenomenally Autistic. And if you want to get in touch with me, my email is phenomenallyautistic@gmail.com. I'm on The Mighty, Phenomenally Autistic. I'm on Twitter, Phenomenally Autistic. So I'm out there.
Okay, so what do viewers look forward to? What can I look forward to in the future from you?
I have no idea, because I don't look that far into the future. Like I just like wake up every day and try to get through the day, do my best to get through the day. So I'm not sure yet.
Okay, so have you ever thought about where do you see yourself in, let's say, 5 years?
No, I haven't.
Okay. I like that you get through your day-to-day life practices, and that can actually teach us all something. I like that you have the gratitude journal and you meditate, and you said like something between 15 to 30 minutes, and I'm thinking, oh my God, I try to get through 5 minutes. Like
I started with 5 minutes. I started with a 5-minute guided mindful meditation.
Okay.
And I just kind of like worked my way up, and it's gotten easier because my attention span isn't the greatest. So like sometimes it's hard for me to pay attention. So it was very hard until I got used to it. But now it's just like part of my routine. And if I don't do it, my day is thrown off. So it's a must for me.
Do you have any tips as a way to get grounded, to quiet all the noise in one's head, in my mind, to get started?
Yeah, put some headphones on. Go on YouTube, look up guided meditation or even sleep meditation. Those are good ones too. You can listen to those in the morning. As long as it's not like a really long one, it won't put you to sleep. So YouTube is awesome. Go on YouTube and find a mindful guided meditation.
All right. Thank you so much, Ayanna, for joining us today.
Thank you for
And I
having
look
me.
forward to seeing more from you, and I can't wait. So
Thank
thanks
you.
again, all the viewers who are watching. Ayanna, you take care.
Thank you, you too.
Listen, you're my friend.
I noticed you haven't really been yourself recently.
Yeah, I feel like something's up.
How are you?
Are you okay?
Is there anything you want to talk about?
I just want to know how you're feeling.
And listen, even if you don't know what to say, I'm here to talk.
No matter what you're going through,
I just want you to know I'm here.
I've got your back. When you want to talk, I'm here.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Ain't no living life semi-pseudo. Ain't no living life semi-pseudo. We going out tonight or when my you know. Ain't no bedtime, you grown, spending them dimes so darn. Ain't no living life semi-pseudo. Ain't no living life semi-pseudo. We going out tonight or when my you